seconds and counting.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another Clutch City Entertainment video. It's your boy, Big E here, getting ready to talk about something that a lot of Texans fans don't really want to talk about, but it is Davis Mills. I mean, we gotta have to talk about him at some point. And before you click out of this video, I'm not telling you Davis Mills is going to be the starter. I'm fully on board taking QB at 2. So stay tuned. Let's talk this out real quick. First of all, I mean, the Davis Mills as a backup option is not something I am opposed to at all. I mean, at like 0% opposed to having Davis Mills at a backup. I mean, he can learn a lot by just holding that Microsoft iPad, whatever it is. That alone can give him, a real in-game film to improve on in general, and you see what mistakes the rookie does. End of the day, we've seen a lot of people talk about how smart Mills can is, and how he can read the game in more comfortable situations. I mean, we can all agree that when the game is kind of on the line, or when it's a close game and it's a clutch moment, he doesn't really show up. He makes the bad decision, throws a bad pass. I mean, top of my head, I can think of the Broncos game or that fumble against Kansas. But this isn't me saying that Davis Mills is the worst QB I've ever seen in my life, So I'm saying that he does have a very, very good role on this team, especially as the backup. I mean, we can tell that he reads the game well enough as a backup if something were to happen for the QB we draft at 2, whether it's Bryce or CJ. We can kind of rely on Mills to come in and pick it up a little bit and keep the pace going. I mean, just top of my head, we go back to that Dallas game where him and Driscoll were throwing, was the two QB guys. And, he threw for 76% completion, 176 yards. He did throw an interception, but we can kind of see how that system between two QBs would work. And I'm not saying that the Houston Texans should run a two QB system next season, by the way, before we get into that one. But we can see that he can fill in that slot whenever we need him. If you need him to step in, make a few plays out of nowhere. The whole game, for example, Bryce Young has been struggling for a whole game. I'm not saying you should bench him, but throw in Davis Mills there for a play or two to just reset the offense, reset the defense, reset everything. And, he's not going to go out there and throw a pick or in 2 plays, because we've seen he can kind of be conservative in the passing game. He can kind of be smart with it. We know that he can trick defenders, safeties at least. We've seen him manipulate safeties every now and then. Not every NFL safety has fallen for it, but if you go look at the film, he can kind of show a lot of, smartness in the pocket and just nice thinking when it comes to playing with the ball. But yeah, most importantly is that him having this backup role will kind of let him know what he has to work on, and it will kind of let him know the career trajectory that he's going to be on. And I feel like Davis Mills, I mean, we can think of a lot of great backups. It's no knock on Davis Mills at all that he can be a backup in this team, because end of the day, your backup is someone you can just rely on to come in and play, quick passes and get the game going, but also just be smart with it. And the only way I see him improving on that is by getting in-game film. As the game is progressing, he can see the mistakes that the rookie QB will make, because no rookie QB is going to be perfect, especially in this year's draft. But he can see in-game as it's happening where the mistakes are and where he can improve in that case. And God forbid our main QB gets injured and you have to put in Davis Mills to close out the season. He can kind of see and know what he shouldn't be doing in that point, because as a backup, you're kind of learning more than as a starter, just because you're getting to see everything that happens live and you get to analyze it on that Microsoft Surface. And, after the game, he gets to watch film. And I just can see that backup potential there and how it can, benefit him heavily into just becoming this safe passer in the pocket, awareness, like everything that he would need to work on. would be easily accessible for him as a backup. You know, we've seen that, of course, as a starter, he's going to get more reps and, more time to learn. But the main problem with him really is to just know what to do and when to do it, and know what not to do and when to not do it. So in that case, when he's a backup, reading everything that's happening, seeing the game from a different perspective, I can really, really see that helping him. And, if he shines as a backup and all of a sudden a random team wants him, the Texans could have some leverage in having Davis Mills. This is a far fetched idea, but we never know. That the land of the NFL is very, very weird and very, very changing. It keeps changing every now and then. So I wouldn't be surprised at that. We can have a potential trade piece in Davis Mills, pick up a third or something. I wouldn't be surprised, especially with how good Nick Casario is at asset management. But that's just going to be all. Let me know what you guys think, if Davis Mills can improve as a backup and if he should be the backup here long term. I mean, of course, I'd rather have a veteran quarterback be our backup and teach Stroud slash Young, whoever it is. And, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe.